We are now recording. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for episode 9 of Talk It Out with Tahsha Renee, where I lead amazing, incredible people through 20-minute breakthrough sessions. I am Tahsha Renee, and I am the founder of SISTERHOOD of Sacred Fire, and I'm also the co-creatrix of our women's sacred rage therapy work that I do with the incredible, amazing Jacquelynne Faith. You can find out what we do and how we do it on sisterhoodofsacredfire.com. You can also look us up under that same name on Instagram. If you're watching this in December of 2022, we do have a upcoming 4-week Women's Sacred Rage program that starts on January 9th. It's going to be super powerful. It'll be our 10th program that we've offered. We also offer private sessions, 2-on-1 sessions. And you can also work with me privately on a monthly basis or a weekly basis. If you'd like to have one of your own 20-minute breakthrough sessions that is not recorded, unless you want it to be, then it's normally $200 an hour to work with me. And these breakthrough sessions are only $50. So if you'd like to get in touch with me and set that up, let me know. Hello, Jasmine. Thank you for joining me.
Hello.
So tell me what it is that we're talking about today.
So being a single mom with 3 kids and living in Oregon, where we do, it's just really expensive. And I do have a really great job. It's just for my position, I just need more income. And so I get all these ideas of a side gig I can do. But I just haven't found the one thing that is going to work. And it's just hard not to get frustrated. And it's hard. And I get all these ideas and they come and go. Nothing is stuck, or I'll start something and then it just fizzles out. So I don't know if it's something to do with me and my brain, if there's any kind of blockage there, or it's just not a good idea. I don't know. But it's just my mind is just always going on and I feel like I'm so close to a good idea and I don't know how to get there. I don't know. I feel like there's this wall there that I just can't break through.
Okay, perfect. So I'm trying to tap into what you're telling me. So give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
When you start to think of an idea, when is the point that it falls off and you don't go anywhere else with it?
There's 2 different scenarios there. Either I get the idea and it just kind of goes away on its own before I even do anything, or I'll get the idea and I'll start it and then it fizzles out, because I think part of the reason is I don't get results quick enough. And it's hard for me to keep the motivation.
Yes.
Because I'm afraid it's just this isn't going to work,
Right. Yeah. So entrepreneurship 101, just to let you know that we don't all figure out until fucking later, is that the reality of starting a business is it will not actually catch on or make money to live on for 1 to 2 years, more around the 2-year mark. So yes, you have to be really, for you, it sounds like, first of all, let me ask you, what is 3 of the ideas that you have?
The most recent one is a crystal business.
Okay.
And I was super, super excited about it. And I had a little money in savings and then I spent it all getting it started. And then I feel like I'm just not getting much in return.
Yeah.
And then I've also done a couple of the things on Facebook, where you go on Facebook Live. Oh no, it got blurry. Where you go on Facebook Live, it'll fix itself.
That's okay. Keep going.
Where you go on Facebook Live and try to sell. I did a jewelry thing.
Yeah, almost like an Etsy page.
Kind of, yeah.
Huh? Okay, so did you have any passion behind the jewelry?
I guess not so much behind the product itself. It was more it was something I can do from home on my own time. And I really do enjoy like going on Facebook Live and that aspect of it.
Yeah.
But the product itself, I was like, meh, you know.
Okay. So it sounds like the crystal business is possibly the thing that maybe feels the most like a yes in your body, at least.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So for you, it's mainly about deciding to do the commitment of it.
Yeah.
And committing to telling yourself that unless you get some really big signs, like some actual signs that are telling you I should not be doing this, or you don't make any money for like 6 months of doing a business of that, that's something to look, maybe even 3 months, 3 to 6 months. If you're not making any type of business, any type of like progression, anything like that, then I would say that's something to maybe turn, and pivot and try to figure out what it is that is not working. But you do what the message I'm getting is really it's around exactly what you think it is. It's commitment. So when you're not committed to something, there's an energy behind your business. There's an energy behind my business. I call in the consciousness of my business all the time and ask questions about it. And let me just tell you and be just totally forthright with you. It's 2 years later and we're still not making enough money to be able to fucking fully provide for ourselves. It's about to take off. We keep saying that, but there's really some like great things that are starting to happen where yes, 2023's we're just projecting that it's going to be the year where we finally get to do that. Right. But that's going to be over 2 years and come close to like literally making me almost homeless and losing Jacquelynne and I almost separating in friendship a couple of times. Like it's entrepreneurship is not for the fucking like people who don't feel a full body fuck yes. And I feel like you do. I feel like you do have that. You are feeling that. It's just a matter of the commitment portion. So then does that resonate with you?
Yes and no. Like this idea has been like the most excited and pumped I've been for something, but at the same time, I feel like there's something else.
Okay. So it doesn't feel like the thing for you.
It's not the thing.
Okay.
Like I enjoy it. And out of all the things I've tried, like I was the most excited for this idea.
Okay.
But I still feel like there's something there that I haven't figured out yet, that I haven't I haven't had like the big light bulb moment.
Okay. So why do I feel like it's not necessarily product related, that it's more service related? Like you offering a service, I don't use the word coach, you being even training to become a therapist, somebody.
And that's funny you say that because a couple of years ago, I started to take an online class for being a life coach.
Yeah. Which you don't necessarily need, by the way. Just gonna throw that out there for everybody listening. I've never taken a class for life coaching ever. I don't know hardly anyone that has. If it makes you feel more comfortable to do that, by all means, follow that, do that. But I'm just saying, don't feel like you have to do that in order to be able to help somebody. What helps somebody is your own history of what you've been through. So if you've been through certain things that you want to lead other people through because you've been through them, you already have a program. You already have a way of teaching people. You're just teaching them your process. If you're somebody who doesn't have that, then yes, maybe some training might be something, or shadowing somebody or getting a mentor to shadow them might be something that would be beneficial. But what do you think when you were thinking back then? What's the thing that you were thinking about that you might want to help people with? Is it men? Is it women? Is it men and women together? Is it couples? Is it what?
It wasn't even a specific category. It was just
wanting to help people.
Yeah. But I'm also like I'm a creative person. So I do like, crafty things. And so I've always thought that maybe it would be like that direction. Like something.
So I'm thinking what I'm seeing is a combination. So there's a combination of you coaching and having a crystal business that helps people with actually what you're coaching. Has jewelry that's actually activated, that's actually energy activated, that your clients actually include with some of your things special, or they purchase them. So it's you doing a combination of things, not just one thing, not pigeonholing yourself into one specific thing. Let me ask you, what do you think with some of the things that you've gone through? What are some of the things you think you might be able to help somebody with? What have you overcome? What have you made it through?
I mean, relationship stuff, without going into too much detail.
Sure.
Different kinds of relationship experiences. Being a single mom, being able to, single mom financial stuff, hardships that I've overcome.
Loneliness. Yep. Trying to find time for yourself. The genre of helping single mothers and mothers in general is huge, Jasmine. It is massive. There's not enough women that could come in and be coaches. That area will never be saturated ever. So yeah, it feels like the reason I'm picking up that you haven't latched onto something is because it's not deep enough for you. It doesn't mean enough for you. It's got to be this thing that's like, oh my God, I want to be a part of looking over and saying, wow, my pain did something for somebody else. Wow, I hope that woman feels safe enough in her body and in the world that she was able to break out of where she's at and become this free person in her life and in her motherhood, honestly. I'm not going to give details, obviously, about our conversation of the day, but also maybe child mother relationships. That's another thing that I feel like is going to be something that you already have some experience in, and you're going to continue to have experience in. So it feels like it just needs to be deeper. And I don't know anything that's deeper than helping people one-on-one or helping people in a group atmosphere. So what does that feel like to you when I say that?
I like that idea.
Does that feel more on track on some aspects?
Yeah. I just have to get past like my own
self-doubt.
Yeah. Being, in my head, I'm like, oh, like I'm not very good at speaking, like things like that, like things I have to like push past those.
Right. So for you, you're right. Maybe it would be really beneficial for you to take a fucking coaching program, right? Because even if it means, I know funds are not like the greatest fucking thing right now, but saving, give yourself 3 months of saving and tell yourself I'm going to save for 3 months for a program. And I'm going to take a life coaching program. So I feel a little bit more, better in my shoes of this and in my skin about this. And usually coaching programs will go over that. We'll go over like speaking and, a lot of it's messy action. So this is you're not the first person I've coached in these sessions. The business stuff has come up with starting a business. Maybe I should do a program around it. But yeah, there's called messy action, right? Which is where you just kind of, before you do it, I had somebody ask me specifically, like, what is this? How do you take an idea and make it into a business? And the first step on it is to sit down and write out, what are the things that I have experience in? We've just kind of talked about them. So maybe putting them down on a piece of paper and saying, these are the things I think I could help women with. And then going through your own process of like how it is that you've done those things, how it is that you're doing those things. What is your process when you come across a problem or a challenge with your child or finances or something in your life that's happening? What is your process for getting through that? Is there a meditation process? Do you use your crystals in a specific way? Do you have jewelry you use in a specific way? What are some of your releases that you do? Like writing those things down, because that's what becomes a program. My Sacred Rage Scream moment in my kitchen in November of 2020 became this program. And it didn't become the program right away. It took fucking like, a year and a half to really get like, oh, this is what it looks like. More like a year, I guess. This is what it fucking looks like. This is what it's going to look like. And it was still trial and error on time frames and all the shit, right? And what was added and what was in there and how we approached it. And fuck, man, it's insane. The entrepreneur world will make you also dive deep into your own shit, because you have to be able to hold space for other people who are going through those. So while you're still teaching someone, you're also going through your own crap. And it's an interesting world to step into. So I just want to say thank you. Like, I feel like your guide's telling me to tell you thank you for wanting, even though it's scary and even though it's feels like something like, I don't really know how I would do that, or like, who the fuck am I to fucking do something like that? Like there's this imposter syndrome I feel like might be coming up with you as well. And they're just wanting me to tell you that like, thank you. Thank you for working through that. Thank you for showing up, because this time and age, especially, the veil is getting so thin with our world. We need more people, more women, especially, to be rising up and saying, I can help you. I can be there for you. I'm willing to face my own stuff while still trying to help others and be of service in that way. That is also bringing you money in and is also providing for you. So that's where it starts. And I think if you can say, okay, I can see a feeling that feels familiar to me. I don't know how it would be, but let me get smaller in my process of what it is I can do and what that looks like. And maybe you get more fun into it, like maybe the branding, maybe you start thinking about a name for it. You know, is it your name? Is it Jasmine Coaching? Is it like a nickname you've had? Like whatever. I picture kind of like your tattoo stuff. I don't know, it's kind of like this dark feminine type look. I picture it being. But that's also feminine. It feels like not just like, you know, fire and fucking brimstone and like whatever. It feels like I almost see kind of like flowers and yet like dark flowers. It's weird. I don't know. Yeah. So what does that feel like when I say all that?
When you said thank you, like I got teary-eyed. I almost started crying.
Okay. So there's confirmation, right? That's a confirmation when we have that emotional reaction to somebody talking about people passed over or you're on the other side. So yeah, so follow that and have the courage to follow that. The entrepreneur world is really it's a walk of faith. I've been telling people you're walking by faith, not by sight, which is a Bible term, but it's really what manifestation literally means. It means my reality sight shows me all this shit that's not fucking anything I want. And I can't look at that. I have to focus on the life I want, the freedom I want, the money I want, the connection, the healing, the service, the mission. I have to keep focused on that no matter what this tells me. So you're walking by faith of getting that point and not by sight of what you see. So yeah, I didn't even time this because I'm a dum-dum. What did we do? We started at like 10:15. Okay, we're so good. So yeah, are there any ideas and stuff coming up when we're talking about this?
I mean, everything that's already been mentioned, you know, like mom, child, relationship, adult relationships.
Yeah, you know, going into also, Jasmine, tapping into a lot of your own, when you sit down to write it down, what you went through as a child, what your history was, how you made it from belief systems or being told certain things about yourself to where you are now, and how you decided to stop believing in those. I feel like there's a process there that you've done. I feel like you are extremely strong. We've talked about this when you were at my house the other day. You're just very strong, very, very strong. And so women are going to gravitate towards that. They're going to gravitate towards that strength. And they're going to ask you, how are you so strong? How are you able to, like, you also have this really beautiful ability to stay calm in heightened situations, which I think is kind of a mother thing for some mothers, right? That's like just a thing to do. But I think there's something to be taught. I think there's a way to teach women what your thought process is when that's happening, how it is you're keeping yourself calm. That could be a program literally all on its own. How to keep your emotions in check when your child's freaking out, when the ex comes along and blah, 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 when financial stuff comes up, like how to keep yourself, your body, and how to keep yourself in a space of being able to still be strong in those aspects. It's huge. It's huge, especially if you're a single mom.
Yeah.
Not a lot of support. How did you survive with maybe not a lot of support? How does a woman do that? So there's like all these things that even I'm getting of like, you know, that are coming. So yeah. Can you see how that might be able to be something you could do? Does that feel more resonant with you?
I think and when it comes to like the speaking and the talking part of it, like I think that will come a lot easier if I'm speaking if I'm telling my own story, you know, versus like learning something and then trying to teach it.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, coaches do free shit all the time. They do free, you know, I'm not going to mention one certain coach I used to follow, but She did have very amazing content in her free content, but there are coaches who will do free masterclasses, and you will learn a shitload in those masterclasses, especially if they're masterclasses around starting your coaching business. You'll learn a lot. Sometimes it's a 3-day masterclass and you'll be in there for 3 fucking days watching somebody and other people and questions, and it can be really, really valuable. The webinar stuff, I would not suggest that stuff where you click on whatever, but actual free masterclasses that coaches do, look for those, sign up for those, get comfortable with that. Sometimes there's a challenge that goes around where people are doing anywhere from, I think it's like 7 days up to like 365 days, a full year of doing lives, of committing to just going live every single day, even if it's just for fucking 2 minutes to be like, I said I'd go live, so I'm going live. I'm not comfortable, whatever. That helps that. And when you're talking from your own story, when you have a program laid out, when you can say, okay, I want to teach women how to, again, maybe just do the emotional thing, right? Stay really strong in their bodies during really hard times. And you pick 4 ways that you did that, and you break it down into like 4 weeks or into 4 classes or whatever it is you want to do. And then you're able to come on and say, I'm offering a program. And in the beginning, by the way, I always suggest like a beta program. Either it's free, or you do really discounted, maybe even like pay what you can afford, like 3 to 5 one-on-one, like this, like a 20-minute session maybe, in exchange for a testimonial. And what happens is the pressure of money is taken off. So that way you get comfortable and get to be more comfortable doing all the things. And there's not this pressure of like, oh, this person paid me $1,000 and I have to have all this so-called value, which you have anyways. But in our brains, it's like, it just fucking, it limits us. And that way you get more comfortable. And that was a lifesaver for me when I started doing psychic readings, because I was just like, I know I'm like good at this, but I'm fucking feel weird about it still. And my coaching sessions, honestly. So, so it's all about just kind of, I would really get it out on paper so you can see it and be like, oh, holy shit, this is a thing. I can create this, I can do this. And then committing, and telling people. So part of, by the way, your program could be introducing crystals. I could literally be a class. It's one of your classes. You're going to go across crystals and what they can help with, and how you, maybe if they signed up for a little bit extra money, you send them a crystal package that goes with it that they can use every week. Maybe you introduce crystals for every week of the thing that they hold on to and they meditate with, so that they can help open up their channels. There's all these different things and avenues you can go down. But it really is committing to saying there's going to be ups and downs. I'm going to keep my other job or whatever's coming, money's coming in, until I make the same amount I'm making now, maybe. Then I know it's coming in. I know I'm booked out like, 3 to 6 months, and you just feel comfortable. You just know, you're like, okay, I have a clientele. I have the things.
Yeah.
So yeah, does that feel a little more like open instead of like, I don't know what to do?
Yeah.
Good. Maybe more of a focus. Yeah, because I can feel it in you. You're definitely not meant to just, be a normie, in my opinion, which there's nothing wrong with being a normie. Okay. But you're not meant to be a muggle. Okay.
Yeah.
You're magical and you have a lot to offer, and you've been through some things, and your ability to, again, not going to give details, but your ability to break toxic patterns, your ability to walk. There's another thing too, how to walk away from someone who is not healthy for you, how to actually do that. And that could be another program. How did you do that? What was your process? What were you thinking? What were your affirmations? What was a meditation? What were the crystals you used? What were the hard things? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can make a program out of it. Anybody can make a program of your life. You can. Do a program around it.
You hear about that so
Make
much.
a program out of your life. Like, it's only
Yeah.
Even I'm getting ideas about shit to do to maybe help people through this. This has literally been, I've done 8 of these sessions, and like half of them have been about starting a business. So maybe I should listen to that. So yeah, it's we all, and there's the thing is that this might open up other things for you to teach. It might not just be this, it might be other things. Like, I started an ASMR business. I this may be a thing right now that I'm talking about. Like, it's really staying open to like whatever is supposed to happen. You may have 5 or 6 different money, channels coming in.
Yeah.
So you're
I've had people tell me before that I should be a teacher, but I think in their mind, in my mind, it was like, teaching like
kids.
Well, yeah. And I was like, no,
That doesn't
maybe
feel right.
it's like this kind of teacher. Like, yeah. So maybe that's what they meant without knowing that's what they meant.
Exactly. They were just picking up your teacher vibration.
Yeah.
For sure. Because also you being very grounded. What sign are you?
Taurus.
Oh, okay. So which means you can get super angry and fucking awesome too. Not awesome as in like that's not, but I'm talking about fire. You can be very fiery. So when needed, but a Taurus is also very, like, they are grounded. So your grounding is also going to feel very safe to women to come into your realm and to your programs. And they'll probably be releasing a lot of things because you're able to hold that. So that's another selling point for you.
I've had people that I hardly know, like, tell me all this stuff. And afterwards they're like, I don't know why I just told you all that.
Okay. That's what I've been told since high school.
Yeah.
Since high school, I thought I was going to be a psychologist because I didn't know anything about life coaching at that point because I'm old, but yeah, there was no such thing as life coaching at that point. But yeah, so yeah, if you're being told that's 100% indication that you are supposed to be coaching. Yep. You're supposed to be holding space. And I know a lot of people hate that fucking term, but when you're really actually holding space for somebody, it's a really, really beautiful, beautiful thing. Because you're just allowing them to have whatever
you're frozen,
whatever experience they have in your field. That says my internet connection's unstable. Can you see me and hear me still?
It did freeze for a second, but you're good.
Yeah. So you're just able to hold them through whatever experience they're having with you, so that's really what holding space means, is just allowing them to do that. So, and you are very much a space holder, which is really needed.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, this is great.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you coming on here, letting me record this and share it and share part of your story and who you are. And I'm just sending you and holding space again for you to just, take off with this and really dive into it, even at a smaller level, and just tell yourself, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to follow the signs and I'm going to keep doing it as long as there's still this feeling of like, this feels right to me. Not I'm bored with it, not, whatever. But I think there's an indication of that too. You know what I mean? So like, obviously the crystal thing wasn't right for you and you knew that about yourself. And the jewelry thing wasn't the thing for you to do. And you knew that about yourself. So as long as you're still feeling that, I mean, there's been many times what I do. You've been a part of my program. There's times when multiple times over the 2 years that I've been literally called in God and said, I don't fucking do this anymore. It's too fucking hard. It's too hard. The money's not coming in the way it's supposed to. I'm give. Like, I mean, just yelling, screaming, fucking, why the fuck do you have me doing this?
Yeah.
And when that happens, every time that happens, something gets in my DMs or somebody says something and I go, fuck. And I keep going because there's just like this massive line. The universe is like, I understand, but sorry, get over it. So when you're doing really big work too, it does sometimes take, a while to work through those things and try. Sometimes it's not about the fact that you're not supposed to be doing it. Sometimes it's more about what's in me that's keeping me from not being able to do it. So I definitely would say to please utilize calling in your guides in those moments and say, am I not supposed to be doing this? Because I don't want to do it. If it's going to be fucking this type of difficult, hard for me, and it's going to make me feel like I'm not good enough. Like, what am I supposed to be clearing here? How am I supposed to be, approaching this? Please let me know if this is something I'm not supposed to be doing. If I am, please give me a sign so that I can continue to keep going. And they will. They will. Every time you throw your hands up and go, fuck it, I'm not doing this, they will give you a sign as to whether or not you're supposed to be doing it. Yeah. So I would also call them in anyways after this call if you have time and say, I feel resonant with this. This feels like a yes to me. I am willing and able to take on the service of this in myself, and I'm willing to go down the journey of this. And I'm willing to have your help on that and the expansion of that, and, all the things, and just say, I'm signing up for duty. I'm ready to go. Lead me to the people and situations that will help me to make this a profitable business for myself that is also healing other people.
Mhm.
So yeah, I guess that's my end 2 cents.
I appreciate it.
Yep. I love you, girl.
Yeah.
Thank you
Love
so
you.
much for hanging out with me today.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.